The point is, it's never too late to be what you might have been, and you can really start anywhere.
Hi, and welcome to We Do That, Careers That Make a Difference. We've been experimenting with some different formats here. We've added the YouTube video format, and today we're going to do something a little different as well. And that's a shorter mini episode. We need a catchy title for it, but we're still going to keep doing the longer interviews. But there's so many great stories out there that we don't have time to tell in full. So I want you to at least be able to get a taste of those. So today you're going to meet Jenny, who recently finished her certificate in rec therapy. She has an amazing story and some amazing advice. And as with all our guests, I know you're going to love hearing from her. So let's get to know Jenny. All right, Jenny, thanks for joining us today. You just finished your certificate in recreational therapy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to hear a little bit about your journey. So first of all, what interested you about rec therapy?
I've always been an artistic person. I'm very physically active, and I thoroughly believe that activities and recreation are a way to stay healthy, mind, body, spirit, but also to prepare yourself for whenever you face some sort of adversity, because the healthier you are, when you have activities kind of in your wheelhouse, it keeps your mind clear and you can better focus on where you want to go.
Yeah, that's great. So a lot of people have never heard of rec therapy. So how did you even find out about it? What made you decide to pursue this path?
I hadn't heard about recreational therapy per se, but I was laid off from my job earlier this year. And when I was looking for other jobs with my interests and skills in mind, activities and physical fitness, CTRS, which is a certified therapeutic recreation specialist, kept popping up. And when it did, and I Googled it and read more about it, I thought, that's it. I'd love to do something like that. And I looked up the best online programs in the nation, and ASU came up as one of them. So I was able to apply for and get into school just in time.
Yeah, that's great. So you were telling me earlier that you previously had a career as a realtor. I think a lot of people hear that like, oh, realtor, that's great. You get to make a lot of money as a realtor. So why'd you stop being a realtor?
Funny you should say that. I was in my mid 30s and I was making decent money at the time, but it was extremely stressful. And at that time, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And while I was going through my treatment, I realized it's probably the high amount of stress that contributed to my illness. And that's when I decided to make a complete 180 and do what I really wanted to do. So I became certified as a yoga instructor and a personal trainer and started working as a fitness instructor at a hospital in San Diego.
Okay. So we're super glad you found us. What stands out to you about the program, the certificate program? What are some big takeaways or things you learned?
Some big takeaways. I would have to say Dr. Kelly Ramella is the best point person to help you. She really asked what my needs were and what my time frame was and helped me construct a schedule based on the experience that I already had, having fulfilled the requirement for an internship. I was able to complete the program in a semester, and she was very available via email if ever I had any questions throughout the program. And I was fully prepared when I obviously studied for the test. But when you complete the program at ASU, you get a certificate, but then you still have to pass the exam for the council, the NCTRC. And I was really well prepared based on all the classes that I had. So I have nothing but great things to say about the program.
Yeah, and our students have a very high pass rate on that exam of it. Kelly certainly prepares folks well. So what advice would you give to someone who is considering a career switch?
Considering I switched my careers a few times throughout my life, I'm 49 years old. And when I told people what I was doing, so many people my age especially said, oh, that is my ultimate nightmare. I wouldn't want to go back to school. I wouldn't want to do this, that. It's too late. The point is, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And you can really start anywhere. And it is a little bit scary, of course, but you have to, you don't see the light without or the stars without the darkness. And had I not been laid off from my job, I wouldn't have seen or ever even heard about recreational therapy, and now see all of the potential and that I have in my future. So it's never too late to veer in a different direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I'm on my third career as well. So I completely can support that advice. What about a student considering rec therapy, whether it's career switch or their first career?
I would say first be a yes person. And Dr. Ramella definitely told me this. She said, any opportunities you may have to go tour a facility or do a networking event, by all means do it. And also arrange appointments to visit different facilities. So I've looked at a few behavioral health centers, senior centers, equine therapy centers, and Ability 360, which caters to people with physical and intellectual disabilities. The point is, it's such a huge umbrella of different populations you can help. So figure out which one is really the one that works best for you. I used to be a minimalist, but you can't be a minimalist if you want to have a lot of tricks and activities in your pocket. So I have a closet specifically dedicated to all different activities that I can do once I actually get the job that I'm looking for.
Yeah. So, Jenny, we just wrapped up 2 years of this podcast and we did a special best of issue where I compiled the best of people's advice. And what comes up again and again and again is say yes
Yes,
opportunities, say yes, say yes, yes. Uh,
absolutely.
so we call this podcast Careers That Make a Difference. I know you're just launching your new career, but how does rec therapy make a difference?
Oh, it makes such a difference. Bringing it back to what I was talking about when I was sick, going through my cancer treatment, I realized the power of having been healthy from running and doing yoga going into my illness, but then also having yoga and my painting as an outlet and a way to express and process my feelings and also to stay healthy mentally and physically. So many people in our country, especially, we've become such receivers of information, whether it be addicted to our screen time and phones and what have you, and don't create enough and don't do enough. And it's what our bodies, it's what our minds are meant to do. And everybody's going to be different, whatever floats their boat. So it's important to find the activity that really floats your boat and clears your mind and keeps you in good spirits.
Yeah. And so what's next for you?
So I just got a part-time job at Ability 360. And in the meantime, I apply online to a lot of different places, namely senior centers where I live. But because I am a rec therapist and want to show that I use my hands and my artistic ability, I've put together a packet of some of my samples of my artwork, pictures of things that I've done in the last 10 years, outings I've organized. And I've put together a list of all of the sites where I drop off my application because when you apply, you're just a name on a piece of paper. And when you actually go have something to hand the person and smile them, get to know their name, it's just one way of getting your foot in the door. So looking for a full-time job.
Yeah, and I also think that's really good advice. I think particularly in the world of Indeed, where you can one apply, people sometimes wonder why they don't get callbacks, and sometimes it takes that extra step. So I think that's also great advice. Jenny, best of luck as you look for that full-time job, and the Ability 360 is a part-time role, and someone's going to be super, super lucky to have you. Thank you for doing this little mini episode with us. You're our first guest in this format. We need a catchy term for it. We'll think of that later.
We'll come up with it. Thank you, Dr. Legg. I appreciate it and look forward to seeing it.
Great.
And
Thank
best.
you. Quick update before we wrap this one up. There is the blessing of the podcast, I think, because so many times after we record one of these, our guest gets promotion, a new job, something exciting career-wise happens, and Jenny, again, lives up to that. So shortly after we recorded this, Jenny got another job at a senior living facility, and she noted in her email to us that it was her certification, her CTRS, that got her foot in the door. So if you're interested in launching your career, whether that be in recreation therapy or sport management or parks and rec management or tourism or nonprofit or all the great things we talk about in this podcast, reach out to us. You can reach us at scrd.asu.edu. You can reach me at Eric, ERIC.legg, LEGG at asu.edu. We hope to see you here.